Good morning, brothers and sisters, lovers, haters, friends and neighbours, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls and vibrations. Hope everyone's well. And I wish everybody a wonderful weekend. Now, I've been up half an hour or so. I'm going to go out for another walk in half an hour or so. Anyway, I thought I would come on and, tell you the story. Here's a little story all about how my life got turned upside down. Yeah. Now, when I first come into social media, it was about this time actually. About this time of year, 5 years ago. I started going after a certain individual around here who wasn't well liked. Our Des. Me and him got into a back and forth. I had a whole lot of problems going on. I was in active addiction. I was on the back end of a 20-year session. I was unstable. I was, insecure. I was aggressive, violent, obnoxious, ignorant, so many bad things. I'd done so many bad things and I was made up of so many bad elements, And I projected all this negativity that I had going on in my own life at this particular individual. Because, after making a few videos about, a bit of a funny kind of nature, a bit of banter, whatever, information started to come to light from so many different sources, from so many different locations in multiple counties. People were contacting us, girls, women, all telling the same story. Very, very similar account. It always started with a coffee or some food. It was just the MO, just a generic story, what everyone said the same thing. He was going to theirs for coffee, they were going to his for coffee, or they were going to each other's house for food, or they were meeting for coffee and food. And, these girls didn't have a very nice time, shall we say. So, after much back and forth, this chavvy went to the police, put a load of statements in. I got arrested. I carried on making the videos. I got arrested again for witness intimidation. After about 12 or more, 13 statements had been put in, I got remanded. I got warned a few times to stop making the videos by the police. I kept making them anyway. Some would say I deserved to be in jail for doing what I did. Others would say, well, you were only saying what everybody else knew, but no one was really willing to say. There's different opinions, and depends on how you look at it. One way or the other, I was foolish and I cost myself my liberty. Now, all I wanted to do was fight this individual because, that's the person I was. I just wanted to take him on. Just wanted to see who the man was. And it was quite obvious from the start that I had the cock on him. Knew where I lived, knew where I worked. Instead of coming looking for us, this is a supposed fighting man, undefeated bare knuckle champion. Instead of coming looking for me, he went to the police. Which some would say, yeah, that's what the police are for, don't he? You call someone names, Everything what I was saying about this man was true. It was all true. There was obviously injections of humour, and my intention was to humiliate and to ridicule. That's the truth. That's what my intentions were. At the time, this individual didn't have a very big following. His videos and that were doing very little numbers. He had some book which was, just a fictitious yarn. And I targeted him. I got jailed, I got remanded, I got sentenced. I got done a total of about 9-10 months, whatever, in prison. Got out, left the situation alone. This person tagged on to Dougie Joyce and a few other people, called me out. I accepted, even though I had a restraining order taken out on us. I accepted. Then I ended up back in court for the fight, where the judge, which was a different judge from the trial, told me that it was a unique case. He'd never seen anything like this before, and he'd never known where a restraining order was used for a fighter to protect himself against another fighter. He'd just never seen nor heard of it before. And after watching some of the videos, he called the restraining order a joke, because this individual with the restraining order was still actively trying to pursue a fight with me. Doesn't make sense, does it? But that's how it was. Now, shortly after that fight, I got clean. I created a different YouTube channel. I already had a YouTube channel which was running briefly, which was full of negative stuff. So I stopped it. I started this channel, and it started very positive, and it was documenting my journey and recovery and, you know, trying to improve as a person, which is something I'd never done. You know, I'd never actively tried to better myself. So I tried, and things got good. The channel moved quickly. Within 12 days of being clean, I was on the James English podcast. Big up James English. I've done a Billy Moore podcast. I've done a number of podcasts, and I got a lot of subscribers rather quickly. You know, just come on and started talking, just documenting where I was, my journey. You know, I was still rather lost and confused. Still am to this day. You know, but for whatever reason, you know, brothers and sisters, lovers, haters, friends, neighbours, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls and vibrations, for whatever reason, people listen. You know, I talk and people listen. For better, for worse, you know, between 30 and 40% of my viewers aren't subscribers. You know, so you're looking at a third to almost half people watch my stuff but don't subscribe to me, which is nice, because you'll find nobody watches you harder than the people who can't stand you. You know, just how it is. Now, you know, the big difference, I would suppose, with me and the majority of people on YouTube, which is absolutely fine, by the way. You know, this is the world we live in. This is the new age. This is how it is today. You know, people are willing to say whatever they want from behind a screen about anybody to anybody, when in fact they wouldn't say it to the face. You know, and of course people would say, you know, they would, but the truth is they wouldn't. Of course, everyone's entitled to an opinion, and I get that. But when your opinion is something that you only have the strength to deliver from behind a mask or behind a keyboard, then, you know, it's kind of invalid, you know, and it doesn't really mean anything, because if you're not willing to say what you're saying behind people's backs or from behind the screen to their face, you know, I just can't really call that person a man. Of course, I've had times in my life when no way anybody could call me a man. You know, I've done so many bad things and been very immoral, but today, here and now, you see, I'm a man. I'm trying my best to improve. I'm doing what I can for my kids and for myself, you know, to make a better life for me, myself, and my kids, of course. You know, now, my personality, and it's inconsistent. You know, my goals, my direction is inconsistent. You know, I'm made up of different parts of good and bad. You know, and a massive shout out to everybody that comes to this channel for the right reason, by the way. In fact, a massive shout out to everybody that comes to this channel for whatever reason. You know, the good, the bad and the ugly. Why people watch, you know, I don't really know. But for whatever reason, people watch what I'm saying. And listen to what I'm saying, you know, and watch my videos. Now, I don't fully know why. But I know I can talk. Now, some people say they're not bothered about views and subscribers. Well, that's fairly well. There might be some truth in that. But if you were making videos on YouTube and you had no subscribers and nobody was watching your content, you know, you may as well talk to the mirror. You know, there's no point. For whatever reason, people watch what I'm saying. Now, I know this isn't going to go on forever. I don't want to do this forever. You know, could be 6 months, in whatever, a few months, a year, whatever's time, there'll be someone else, you know, sort of doing what I'm doing. They might be doing it even better. And that's fair enough, you know. And there's part of me saying, you know, wanting to do good for the good people and wanting to document my journey and doing what I'm doing. And there's part of me saying, you know, just start the drama. Just get back on the drama. I kind of miss the drama sometimes from an outsider looking at it. I mean, I miss what Big Des used to bring to this platform, the entertainment, you know, the stupidity, the naivety. You know, I want to see somebody taking a drink out of a cup with nonce written on the bottom. I want to see someone reading names about Mike Hunt and Dixie Normus and, you know, Raymond Pennybody and all this stuff. Like, that's what I want back, you know, a bit of entertainment. Sometimes that part of me wants that, you know, like I say, part of me's saying, don't entertain these bacons, Danny, you know what you think of them, you know what you'd like to do to them. And part of me's saying, why don't you just fight this shadow boxer, Danny? You know, there's opportunity here, there's money to be made. Now, and this, same as our Des, when he gets out, you know, opportunity written all over it. Big money making scheme, scandal, whatever. There's money there. You know, like, if anybody on here thinks that I would be bothered about, let's just say I meant, I don't know, 50 grand off both fights, 100 grand combined off them two fights, you know, if anybody on here thinks for a second that I'm going to be bothered about being called an enabler or worse, much worse, you know, if anybody thinks I'm bothered about that, you're very sadly mistaken, you know, because like I've said it many times, I have a life outside YouTube and it's a beautiful one, you know, and if I never used social media again, you know, it wouldn't be the end of my world. You know, I have a beautiful life. I have everything that I want really right now and that I need for that matter. You know, I'm concentrating on the BKFC right now. You know, I'm defending my British title and I've got a cracking fight coming up. But I'm talking about, you know, what direction I go in from here is completely up to me. You know, and I can take, you know, negativity and hate and being called all kinds of stuff online. You know, I've been accused of so much online, so many unsubstantiated accusations, which I'm fine with. You know, this is the platform. I get it. It's more entertaining than any soaps, you know, and it gives all these people who haven't got the backbone to say what they would say to people in the face. It gives all them an opportunity to vent their, you know, negativity, insecurities, opinion, whatever. You know, I get it. I see it for what it is. I see the bigger picture. This is entertainment, you know. I know for a fact me pummeling this shadow bacon all over the place would do big numbers. It would do big money. So would me and our Des, you know, when he got out, you know. Like, if I can secure like 6 figures or something for my kids moving forward, like, do you really think I care about what I'm told or what I'm called or, you know, and this enabler stuff? Like, come on, people, you know, this is my life, you know, and me and my kids are the most important people in it, you know, and outside opinions and all that stuff doesn't really come into it. I keep making these videos because for whatever reason, people watch them. And of course, I've got an overinflated ego and I'm arrogant and I've still got all this stuff going on. Of course I have. I've got a lot of character defects. I've got weaknesses in certain areas. Of course I do. You know, I admit all my faults. I know what they are. It doesn't make them go away. It doesn't make me any better of a person, but I admit them for what they are. I admit everything I've ever done for what it is. I hold my hands up. Does it make it go away? No, it doesn't. But, you see, what people don't fully understand is, like, this here, it's a game. It's a game. It's not the real world. The real world is where I grew up, what I was used to before all this stuff started. Social media just attracts hordes, armies, legions of people that can all come online and all say whatever they want about anybody and there's no consequences. That's cool. You know, that's cool for so many people because real life isn't like that. You know what I mean? Do you get it? Do you see the difference? This is purely drama, purely entertainment, you know, and I try and portray a positive message as much as I can, you know, but I do have inconsistencies because I'm a person, you know. I'm far from perfect. I never will be. I don't want to be. I don't want to please everybody. I don't want to be everyone's cup of tea. I'm not interested. I'm me, you're you, he's him, she's her, they're them. We're all different. We're all individuals, you know, but I sense big opportunity in this platform, you know, and who knows? Never say never. I might entertain this shadow bacon. What's anybody going to say or do? Call me an enabler? When Des gets out, I'll jump all over it because it's got paper written all over it. You know, like I've said, this is about maximising earnings. This isn't about pleasing everybody. It never has been. It's not about the real world. This is not the real world, you know. You know, what more can I say right now, you know? I'll do me, and I'll continue to do me, you know. I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to get dressed up, wrapped up, shall I say, and dressed, and I'm going to go out for a lovely walk in the crisp, fresh morning. Have a beautiful weekend, everybody. Bye-bye for now. Big love to you all.